and you have lost that, you have sold the destiny of your children. The prayers of mothers are like umbrellas that cover children in distant land. I won't be preaching to you today if not for my mother. Believe me when I tell you this. This young man would have been a drunk, a drug addict, wasting in a club. After my mom died, Satan pulled me away. I was in a club in 2010. I heard a voice. The wages of sin is death. It was not in a church, in a club. And that power took me out. Why was that so? The woman told God, this one you must use him. I couldn't go anywhere. Like Samuel, she tied me and bound me on the altar. Every year, every night of prayer, you will use this one. When Satan came, it was too late. You lose your relationship with God today. You think it's about prayer. This is not religion. It's the destiny of your children. When you find wayward children in society, it's because mothers lost their wombs. Because when wailing women rise, it says as soon as Zion travailed, she brought forth her children. Children are not born in the hospital. Children are born on the altar. If you don't have an altar, you can give birth to a container that has a nose, 2 eyes and an ear, but there will be no destiny there. If you will raise a Samuel who is a prophet, if you will raise a Moses, if you will raise a John the Baptist, if you will raise a Jesus Christ, there must be fire on your altar. And so if you will pray for restoration, it must begin with relationship. Where is the God that whispered to my heart? Where is the God that gave me songs? Where is the God that took sleep from my eye? Where is the God that carried me on fastings for many years? Where is that God? That's the first restoration you receive tonight. Society has become wayward because all mothers have today are long fingernails, foundations and mascara. Society has become wayward because all mothers have today are jewelries. Where are the Jochebeds? Where are the Elizabeths? A woman prophetess. She was not there when Gabriel appeared to Zachariah. But when John came out, they said, what will be his name? The husband was dumb. She said, he will be John. They said, no, nobody has born this name. He picked it in the spirit. When John's mouth opened, they say, when Zachariah's mouth opened, he said, that's the name. So the name an angel brought, Elizabeth was at home. She knew it. Where are those women? Where are the women that cry at night that their husbands can't be drunk? Where are the women that wail at night that their children cannot be wasted? Where are the mothers of Moses? Where are the mothers of Samuel? Where are the mothers of John the Baptist? Where are the mothers of Zacharias? Where are the mothers of Jesus? How come we don't have prophets anymore? How come we don't have apostles anymore? How come we don't have leaders anymore? Because women have lost their wings. Like the mother hen, they can't cover the cheek until destiny is preserved. But we cry for restoration. We cry for a relationship. That place where only the womb carriers can enter. The place of travail. The place of betting. We need such women to rise. Haya oh, haya oh. Oh, adulam. Haya oh. Oh, secret place. Haya oh, haya oh. Haya oh, haya oh. Haya oh. Falotanaya Askaparada Faradina Hate Sehila Caparado Sakatali Sagayana Mantabaradiata Mororote Sakiba Caparo Ataba Berekapano Sakai. I heard a voice in Rama. He said Rachel was weeping for her children. I heard a voice in Rama. Rama, where are the mothers of Rama? Women that cry husband a ransom. Secret place. You know, I kept asking myself, why did Jesus come when he came? Because the Bible said it was at the fullness of time. I kept asking, why was it that time? That was not the only time they had virgins. But when you read the book of Luke, the Bible spoke of a woman called Anna, the prophetess. It says she was in the temple praying for 84 years. Lost her husband at 21, but she never left. Day and night. They reset the calendar of the spirit realm. They reset it. Nobody knew. There was 400 years of darkness. There was no prophet, but there was an intercessor. A woman that had a relationship with God. Although her husband was gone, but her womb was alive. Oh, in the natural you need a man for your womb to carry a child, but in the spirit you need the Holy Ghost. That's why Mary said, how shall these things be? I don't know a man. No, you have two kinds of birthing. There is a natural birth that requires a man, but there's also a spiritual birth. It said the Holy Ghost shall come upon you. The powers of the highest shall overshadow you. So there was a woman that had been overshadowed in the temple. She prayed down the Messiah. She prayed him down. No wonder when Jesus was born, they didn't only need a high priest, they needed her to be there, because she carried the womb that brought that season. We need women that have relationship with God. We need them again. Our daughters have become harlots on the streets. Their brothers are fornicators, because there are no women that know the way of the spirit. He said, let the elderly women teach the younger ones. So when we find the younger ones in error, it means the elders erred first. I'm not here to accuse anybody. I came here to cast a body, because if we don't rise, a generation will be lost. When we talk restoration, we are talking relationship with God. Everybody will live here to an active altar where you meet with the Holy Ghost and shape the destiny of your children.
Thank you for joining us today. Remember the words of Leviticus 6:12. The fire on the altar must be kept burning. It must not go out. Let this be your charge as you go from here. Keep the fire of faith burning in your heart. Keep your passion alive and never let your spirit grow cold. If this message charged your spirit, please like, share, and subscribe, so together we can keep the flame alive in the world. Until next time, stay strong, stay faithful.